Top of the morning, made it to the mural site. Day one of this mural, man. Had some running around to do this morning. That's what we got. It's not a crazy massive wall, but it is good size. Here in Penn North. About to get to it, get some supplies going. Check y'all in for the process.
Day one is always interesting for creating a mural because you're looking at the wall, you're trying to see if you need to clean off any debris, any loose ends, any stems that are growing, any vines that are on the wall. And then from there, you get to priming. Priming is very important because priming makes the wall less porous. So when you paint on top of the surface, the paint doesn't seep into the masonry or the stone on the wall. So priming is very important. Usually, ideally, I would use a paint sprayer, but I didn't have a generator and I don't have enough room in my car to get one. So we're doing it the old fashioned way using rollers. But do not use 9-inch rollers. Get yourself that 18-inch roller so you can get this done in half the time. So me and Rod rolling the paint with the primer and getting it in. It's a redundant process and it can be kind of boring, but it's definitely necessary for the life of the painting and the mural just to make the process go faster. Preparation is key because the more that you prime, you won't have to go with so many layers of paint as you go along through the days. So prep the right way early and you won't have to worry about it as the day goes on. So that's pretty much what you're looking at right now, just priming, back and forth process, but it's very, very necessary.
Day one really just was priming the wall, prepping the wall, getting everything ready to put some color, to start drawing. Definitely underestimated how much the concrete eats up the primer. So I had about 3 gallons before. My guy Ash had to come in the clutch, brought us another 5-gallon bucket just to get to it. This part isn't really, too intuitive. Take a roller. I will say 18-inch roller for large spaces. We don't do the regular 9-inch or even 12-inch. 18-inch roller, extendo poles, makes it a lot easier. Rod actually has a paint sprayer, which would make it 10 times faster, but we don't have access to power, and I didn't want to rent a generator. Honestly, couldn't fit in my car with all the materials, so just spend the first day priming and then color block, and then hopefully we'll be able to draw some tonight, project and draw some of the artwork onto the wall. But efficiency at its finest. It's now about 2:30 and we started at noon actually painting. 2.5 hours to get damn near 800 square feet done. Just got about 2 feet above this. Once we get the scaffold, we can get up top. It's interesting because I did order a scaffold and they only came with 1 level. So that was my first time ever using a scaffold. We used a lift. Rod actually used a scaffold on a couple jobs. And when a delivery truck came and dropped the joint off and skated off, he like, nah, man, it's not enough material. So they're gonna deliver the 2nd level tomorrow so we can get all the way up top comfortably. And then we really can rock out. So pretty self-explanatory day, but wanted to show y'all the process, explain a little bit of it, of what we're working on. Pretty simple, straightforward to it.
get to the point of drawing the artwork onto the wall. We use a couple different methods of doing this, including using a little bit of math to get the line straight, but also using scales and rulers to transfer the images onto the wall, in conjunction with freehand drawing on top of stenciling and using projection to project the image on the wall at large scale so we can get the image proportionately based on the design that was approved by the clientele and the community. So me and Rod using different methods to work together to get this going. And I think it's fun because we're using math, we're using projection, we're using freehand, a lot of different skills to get it going. And this is the fun art part I get in my head that I just enjoy around the process. And you'll hear a little bit about us talking about how to attack it as well.
All right, so based off this line right here, from this corner, we're gonna go over how far?
Half inch, so 8 inches. Because this was 27.3, and then that's 0.2, which is 0.75. So basically 5-6 inches.
Okay.
And then from that line here, we're gonna go down 20 inches.
Okay.
And to the right 12 inches.
To hit this corner.
To hit this corner.
Right. And then I just connect that
to this one we just measured, right, which is the 44 from the.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, that's a bit.
And we end day one projecting. This is part of the process that I feel like is the most efficient if you're able to have enough space between the wall and the projector for you to project the image onto it. My artwork is very 2D, very flat, vector based. So being able to project the image just makes it so much easier for me to transfer the work to a large scale proportionately. But as you can see with the entire wall, we're doing it in layers and we're not doing it all in one image. Just for the feasibility, it's more convenient, it's more feasible, and it's just more comfortable to do it in sections, as you'll see throughout the process of this mural that's going on. So tracing with Posca markers to get, dark lines that will withstand the weather, whether it rains, so it doesn't wash off from the wall if we happen to get inclement weather while we're not there. Between myself and Rod, just tracing the image onto the wall, very convenient, very fast for me to get to efficiency for the night. This is pretty much the end of the night. I think this process took about 45 minutes, 30 minutes to 45 minutes, which isn't bad at all to get to the point where we can paint tomorrow. Can't ask for a better process. So shout out to my projector, shout out to the process, and shout out to the preparation for day one. It definitely was a success.